Good morning, YouTubers. T Square with T Square Talk. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about gardening. Have a lot of people that have asked me how come I didn't do my garden this year. I knew where we live in Texas, it just going to be so hot. We were leaving for a lot of the summer, and I figured while I was up here I would shoot my parents' garden. They put a ton of work into this garden, but they get an extreme amount of food out of this thing. We're going to take a look around and I'll show you guys what we got. So we'll start on the two outer beds. You can see one all the way on the end. There's one on the end, and then there's an inner wood, and then there's the main garden, and then they have another inner wood, and then the outer. Now the outer is all going to be mostly trees and rhubarb. They've got peaches, they've got apples, and plums, I believe, are the three. They also got rhubarb. Now on this one, it's barked in. There is no wood around this one. This is the largest that goes all the way around. A perk of having the not wood like you have over here is there's nothing to weed eat around. You can kind of just ride the riding mower right up close to it. The rhubarb, great if you're making like rhubarb pies, that type of stuff. They freeze a lot of this stuff. It's just a ton of stuff, and it's really an amazing garden. I mean, I look at this and I'm like, man, I would love to have mine look like this, but you're gonna put a lot of work into it. So if you don't mind doing all the work, then it's worth it. They actually have a couple beehives, 2 hives for them with all this garden stuff, with all the flowers and everything. You can actually see some peaches coming up, plums coming up on here already. There's tons of them. I mean, they get huge amounts of this stuff. But 2 beehives will actually they'll pollinate all the plants. They'll make it to where they get a lot more return, to where they get tons of fruit, tons of vegetables. They also get approximately 5 to 10 cases of honey out of this stuff. So now the inner bed, this right here, this is all blueberries. They're starting to come up. You can see them all coming up. I mean, they freeze a lot of the blueberries. They'll use them in desserts, they'll use them in pies. It has a drip system, so when they go to water it, you'll see the drip hoses running over the top. Makes it real easy. You can just flip a switch, waters everything. So it's pretty cool, that aspect of it. They've really done a great job kind of making it to where there's not a huge ton of upkeep work. They do have to come out and weed it, pull out all the weeds. That way basically all the nutrients goes to the plants. And then before we get in the middle, on the very back right here, there's another bed. This is all raspberries. Now, I've actually brought a bunch back to Texas, and they didn't take as well as I had hoped, unfortunately. So they kind of like cooler climates, as you can see. And I mean, they get astronomical amounts from this. And then let's see over here. Oh, these are grapes. And then over here they have grapes. They got the fencing, so that way they'll climb the fence. I mean, this looks super pretty as it starts spreading and expanding. I guess they're about ready to put another tree in somewhere. Now when you look at the inner garden, they have all the beds are set up in a way so each bed is something different. Right here they have elephant garlic. I mean, this stuff gets huge. Right here they got scallions, or green onions. These are string beans. I really wish I was here another month or two when this stuff really starts getting tons of fruit on it. Next one over is either regular tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. I think these are the regular tomatoes. I say that because these little ones over here, I think those are the cherry tomatoes. They're smaller. Here, I'm not 100% sure what these are. I believe they're cucumbers. It's either cucumber or squash. Same here, cucumber, squash. One's one, the other one is the other. Not sure which is. More tomatoes over here. Over here, let's see, was this the broccoli? This one might be the broccoli, I think. Behind it, we got some Swiss chard. Some more green onions and some more elephant garlic. Really neat to see the way they have this set up. I mean, like I said, they put a lot of work weeding it. I like the center. The center, they keep this all barked. They're probably going to be redoing their paper, I think. That's why they pulled out all the bark. The black paper will basically keep it so you don't have to weed as much. If you're new to garden, you're thinking about a great design, they really have done an outstanding job. I'm sure all the wood, though, that will get costly if you go that route. But this is, I mean, the amount of stuff they get from this is just amazing. I mean, as you look, you're like, wow, you know, I mean, this is like a small grocery store, literally. We talk a lot about gardening sometimes. Last year we talked a ton about it. We haven't talked about it in a while. The importance of gardening. Should the economy take a hit like it did during the Great Depression, I mean, we saw everybody turn to gardening. I mean, food was just through the roof. The economy dried up. There wasn't much work. I have a belief that we're getting into that position again. Times were great before the Great Depression. Economy was booming, all-time highs. People were making killings off the stock market. All this over here, this is all squash. So this is a big squash bed. It'll take a little while before that really fans out. This right here is corn. You know, times were great before the economy just tanked, and people took for granted the amount of money that they were making. They weren't really saving. They were just living high. It was a good life for a while, but when the economy tanked, times got super hard. Having a garden like this, it really will prepare you for anything. It can be a natural disaster. It can be just an economy slump. Even if you don't believe in a lot of that, this right here is a mix. It's pepper plants and carrots. So, and the carrots are really good. So, you know, you never really know. Not to mention just the overall money that you save from planting a garden. You're not going to be at the grocery store buying fresh produce every day. You know what's in your food. You don't have all the HGMOs and chemicals and pesticides, and so kind of wanted to shoot a video, kind of share this with you guys. It really is an awesome garden. I say when I get back to Texas, I may consider, if I can get a big enough piece of property on our next house that we move to, doing something like this. But I mean, I don't know if I could handle the amount of work that this is going to go into this. He's had this garden, they add to it every year. There's you might see some stuff in the background of the yard. It's basically just because they've been remodeling a little bit. They just built a new garage back here, just for like their mower and stuff. But make it easier than walking all the way back up to the house every time. Take a look over at these. We'll walk over to the, kind of curious to see the beehives. I don't think there's any bees right now. I think here a lot of them die during the winter. I mean, this rhubarb's looking great. If you like rhubarb pie, yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, Oh my word, it smells so good. You can smell that honey smell. Yeah. Pretty much everything died for the winter here. It's too bad. You know, every year I know they usually are starting over with their hives and stuff. They have to special order bees from down south. Over here, I believe these are just lilacs, just for a pretty look. I mean, something to see. If you're thinking about doing a garden, like I said, this is a great style. This is a great design. Just kind of walking through now, looking at it. Everything. They have a main sprinkler over the main. This covers almost the whole bed right here. So you can basically see this whole inner garden, with a few exceptions. I mean, you know, sometimes they have to hit some of the outer edges, but if it looks like it's not quite getting enough. I mean, grapes, I know grapes are huge in Texas. I don't know how well they produce here. I have never seen the grape garden finished in the fall when they harvest it. I know in Texas these things grow like weeds, grapes, so. And some apples are already coming up on some of these, I think. Yeah, you can see the apples coming in. So with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed the garden. Just kind of wanted to show it. I didn't really, like I said in the beginning of the video, I didn't do nothing this year, so. And mine was nothing like this, so. They have a little opening. I talked to them about it. They're always tripping coming in, so this year they ended up cutting that out, an opening, so they could just roll through. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. As we are fixing now, we're traveling coast to coast, so something really cool to see. I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk, and you guys take care. Have a great one.